Hey fellas, I am just about done with my modeling vacation. Although I did do a couple of models, kind of some weird little things that I've been wanting to do for a while because I'm kind of addicted to model making and that kind of stuff. I did get a lot of spring cleaning done and some Kydex work and stuff you guys probably wouldn't care about, so we're not going to really talk about much of it. But it's kind of refreshing, and I've got some big projects coming up, and I wanted to post a video just to give you an idea of what's coming up. And they're kind of unusual, out of the box for me, not your typical planes, tanks, and automobiles. So let's take a look at what I got going on. All right, here are a couple projects that I completed on my vacation away from Builds for Others. The first one is a scratch-built robot type thing. It's based off the Ashley Wood 3A squares that you could buy. I ended up making this out of plastic card. The only thing that I didn't scratch build was this tube thing on the bottom and this little antenna on the top. They came out of my spare parts bin. But I had a lot of fun building this. It was got my scratch building skills a little practice, and I think that turned out pretty neat. The second one, another thing that I don't normally do, but I would like to start painting more figures, is a Young Miniatures 1/10 scale Vietnam soldier bust. Definitely a different set of skills are required to paint a figure, and I'm not quite there yet, but I think it turned out pretty good for my skill level. I base coated the face for the skin. I kind of like working on skin. It's just kind of a neat thing to try to do. What I did is I base coated with my Vallejo acrylics. I've got some face painting set from Vallejo, and I never did like blending the acrylic paints. I haven't quite figured that out. So what I do is I put a base coat of one of the flesh tones, and then I come back with some oil paint, and then I do my shading with the oil paint. And I think that he turned out pretty good. It kind of dulled it down, because once I was finished, his face was like really clean. I did give him a little 5 o'clock shadow there. But once I finished him up, his face kind of didn't match his uniform. So I ended up taking some dark oil wash and grunging up his face like he'd just come from battle. Yeah, that's I'm gonna grab some more of these and start painting. These were kind of fun, and it was took me about 3 days, so it's kind of a quick little dealio. All right, so we're going to kind of do a walking tour of my project builds, because they're actually kind of big. So you see here, I've got this first one that I'm going to do. I'm going to start this week. Well, I've kind of actually just kind of started a little bit. It is a really rare Disney resin Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and I actually watched the movie last night for the first time, just to get an idea of how I'm going to build it. And this was sent to me by one of the guys I build models for, and thought it'd be a little bit different. and I think this is going to be a really cool build. He wants it lit up. So what I'm going to do is light up, and if you're not familiar with this, just look at some pictures. It looks really cool lit up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some fiber optics and light up these little, they're lights that are all around the salon windows here. I'm going to light those up, and then I've painted some LEDs with some yellowish green color. And I've been kind of experimenting. They're going to go inside of this window here, inside of the, I don't even know what you call a cockpit of a submarine. Yeah, somebody will tell me in the comments. But put them in there so the eyes glow green and you can see inside. I'm also going to do something else with it that's really cool. There's a, and as you can see here, I've kind of got my electrical stuff going, but we'll get more in depth in this when I go to build it. There's a guy named RC Sub Guy that I think built the same or similar kit and turns it into a working radio-controlled submarine. So these are going to be like my fiber optics. I'm just going to put fiber optics in here and then punch holes so they'll come out here. And but I'm also, there is a depth gauge inside here. So what I've done is I've just taken a piece of clear acrylic rod, and I've got a LED light on the bottom that's going to shine through, and I painted it blue, so it's going to give it a blue tint, and it's going to go up inside there. So that's going to kind of have a little bit of a blue glow as well on the depth gauge, and I think that's going to look really cool. But anyway, that's going to be the first project that I do. And as you can see, I kind of got a mess. But it shouldn't be that difficult. I think there are a little bit of fit issues that I'm working on, just because it's a large piece of resin and it's warped. So, but anyway, this is going to be a really cool build. So that's going to be first. Then let's go out here. One of my other guys that I build for sent me this thing, and this is a huge, heavy piece of resin. Now, this is a F102, and from what I understand is that Blaine Electronics, back in the 50s and 60s, created these like resin desk models, and they're really rare and really expensive. And from what the owner told me is he believes this is like a resin blank. I honestly don't know much about it, but it looks pretty old. And he wants me to fix it up. As you can see, there are a lot of issues. So I'm going to try to fix it up and get it into shape. So that ought to be pretty cool. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work here on the wings and up here on the nose. Just a lot of body work. I'll probably use some Milliput because that's pretty strong stuff, rather than use just regular filler, because this is going to be a big, heavy piece, and I want something that's going to be sturdy. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, I'll have to weigh it, but I'll get my workout lifting it. Oh gosh, I'm so strong. But anyway, got that one. That's going to be the second project that I do. And then I'm going to do another B-25 for the same guy. And this one's going to be on its wheels. And I think we're going to create a base for it. Probably kind of like a Pacific Theater type base. We haven't really worked out all the details. But yeah, I've got resin wheels for it. And if you've watched my other one, I do have some of these metal landing gear, which I believe are required for this, because this is when you have to put a lot of nose weight in there to keep it from sitting on its tail. So in my opinion, if you build this gear down, you got to have these. And these aren't the white metal. These are the I don't know what kind of metal they are, but they're pretty strong, pretty stiff. So. But that's going to be the third project, so that'll probably take me into summer, I would guess. This will probably be a 2 or 3 week project. And so that's that. And that's about all we got. So I will catch you on the next video, which will be on that big monster right there. Thanks for watching.